For me, Nintendo Power was a gateway drug. While I'm sure it wasn't the first magazine I read, it was the first that I subscribed to and actively anticipated each and every month. It opened my eyes to not only a world full of unexplored 8-bit cartridges, but also competing publications like Electronic Gaming Monthly, GamePro, and Game Players. And while the competition may have had better reviews, more varied coverage, and a cooler mascot, Nintendo Power knew how to deliver incredible and memorable covers month after month. In this series, I want to review every single Nintendo Power cover. That's a total of 285 issues that span more than 2 decades. This is actually a project I started all the way back in 2012 on the Defunct Games website, but I figured that it might actually be fun to revisit some of these covers in quick little videos. Although there's a strong chance that this type of thing will work better written out on a website, I figured that we'll tackle a few covers at a time and see where it takes us. And it only seems reasonable to start with issue number 1 from July-August 1988. This issue comes out of the gate swinging, giving us one of the most iconic magazine covers of all time. The design is so iconic that when Nintendo Power published their final issue in 2012, they went full circle with a loving homage to the claymation look. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because there's so much to say about the Super Mario 2 cover. Between the perfectly sculptured vegetables, a jubilant Mario, and Wart dressed up like Flavor Flav for some reason, there's nothing about this cover that I don't like. Even the free poster inside advertisement is made out of clay, a small addition that shows the dedication of the artist. And I'm not sure why Mario is wearing a red shirt and blue overalls, the complete opposite of his usual wardrobe, but my eyes are too busy rolling down the yarn ball-shaped mountains to care. This Nintendo Power cover helped spark an entire generation of artists to draw, design, and mold their own Super Mario Bros. Masterpieces. And when was the last time you could say that about a magazine cover? Sadly, I'm not sure you can say the same thing about issue 2 from September-October 1988. After creating one of the greatest magazine covers of all time, Nintendo Power followed it up with a design that is memorable for all the wrong reasons. Forget Michael Dukakis, this Castlevania design is the biggest loser of 1988. It's clearly trying to be spooky, but the whole thing comes off as cheap, lazy, and more than a little campy. Nintendo Power would like us to believe that we're looking at Simon Belmont, famed vampire hunter and star of Castlevania 2 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it can't be Simon, because the Dracula Slayer doesn't wear a helmet. What's more, Simon famously uses a whip, not a sword. I seriously doubt that Drac's eyes would continue to glow after Simon removed his head from his body. But look, even if you can get past all the weird inconsistencies, we're still left with a cover that looks like it was sponsored by Party City. Dracula's head is nothing more than a cheap mask, and that armor isn't fooling anybody. Some of this could have been thwarted by a better photographer and a working knowledge of the subject matter. The only intriguing moment involves a mysterious skeleton hand rising up from the smoke machine. That hand hints at a significantly creepier cover that nobody bothered making. This improves with issue number 3, but don't get your hopes up. In fact, this may be the point of the show where you start to question if this series was even worth doing. But don't bail on me yet, because Nintendo Power makes a lot of dumb decisions, such as what we have right here. A winter issue dedicated to a minigame collection based on the 1988 Summer Olympics. But look, I know what you're thinking. Maybe Konami wasn't on the ball and released Track and Field 2 a little late. Nope, it came out in June. Is it possible that Nintendo didn't have a single game worth promoting for Christmas 1988? Okay, fine, you didn't want to go with something more seasonal. I'm gonna do my best to not hold that against the magazine. But if you're gonna put Track and Field 2 on the cover, then why not make it look at least a little appealing? Look, I've loved this game for more than 30 years, so it pains me to see a couple of rocket-powered high tops on a floating field. You could make the argument that this cover should have been used for world-class track meet, but I'm not entirely sure how you write a strategy guide for a power pad game. Run faster, drink more water, get off that couch, you loser! It's hard to turn that into a 15-page spread. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, that's right. I was about to mention that the art department clearly gives up at one point and just draws a bunch of people doing activities in the sky. And the thing is, all this could have been avoided. Track and Field 2 is one of the few sports collections with a strong art design. It's a genuinely great looking game, not that you would get that from this cheesy cover. Nintendo Power tried too hard to make Track and Field 2 look cool and futuristic, when the sad fact is that none of that was needed. What a terrible way to not only end 1988, but also this episode. We all deserve better than this crap. Hey, thanks for watching this debut episode of Nintendo Power Uncovered. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post all kinds of classic magazine-related videos. Now, here's the question I have for you. How would you rate these 3 Nintendo Power covers? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. By the way, if you want more information about these issues or better images of the covers, head over to defunctgames.com. In other news, we'll be back on Friday with a brand new quiz, so do me a favor and click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.